This is a fantastic lower body workout that I put together for the intermediate to advanced, not for the faint-hearted. I'm giving you a bit of a preview here so you can see what to expect. It's a time lapse of the exercises that I completed in this workout, and I will break them down for you shortly. I want you to make sure that you've got some equipment, some dumbbells and a mat, and we'll get started with a great warm-up and then get straight into some of the more functional movements. You'll just need a couple of pieces of equipment. I used some 9 kilo dumbbells and some 7 kilo dumbbells, as well as having a thera band and a mat and towel set up as well. Make sure that you do a really good warm-up. I would suggest spending 5 minutes jumping around, dancing, skipping, running on the spot, or doing a variety of cardio exercises that are going to make your body really warmed up. And then we'll get straight into it. So let's do it. Let's get started with a set of sumo squats. I've got a 9 kilo and a 7 kilo on top. I'm going to crisscross them together so that I can hold them firmly, taking the legs out wide with the toes turned out. We want to keep the chest up high and drop those dumbbells down between the legs toward the ground without hunching over, without slouching forward. If you can really press into the heels as you come up, engage your glutes, you'll feel it through your inner thighs as well. Switch on your core and take some deep breaths. I'm aiming for 15 repetitions here. If at any time you need to pause this video, don't hesitate. You can take a drink break or have a stretch whenever you need it. I'm going to keep moving through and keep up with whatever you can. As I said, pause if you need to. We're moving into traveling lunges next. So I'm using my 7 kilo dumbbells, taking a big step forward and pressing into the heel of the front leg. So I'm pushing up and off that front leg, activating the thigh, activating the booty, keeping the chest up, keeping the head up, and working and engaging the core. I'm doing 10 steps forward, turning around, and doing 10 steps back, which makes 20 lunges altogether. Take your time. Balance is really important with these lunges. And again, driving through that front leg, push off that front leg, take some deep breaths, and finish off your set. We're now moving into one of the more challenging exercises. It is a straight leg Romanian deadlift. So we're balancing on one leg. I'm starting with my weaker leg, which is my left side, driving that heel into the ground as I tilt forward through the hips, engage the core, slide that dumbbell down the front of the leg, balance, and press into the thigh and glutes as I come up. So deep breaths, and I'm aiming for 15 on each leg here. Really important not to slouch, not to hunch over. If you lose your balance, just pause and reset yourself. And you should really feel the burn by 15 on that leg. Always starting with the weaker side. Oh, there we go. So that you can match it on the stronger side. We don't want to start with the strong leg and then not be able to match it with the weaker leg. If you'd like to pause the video, continue doing 15 on the other side, take a break as you need it. And I'll see you ready for the next exercise. Split squats are the next one, and again they're a really challenging exercise, balancing on one side. So we're propping one leg up behind, big step forward, and again I'm using my left leg first here. As you can see, the knee remains directly above the heel, not letting that knee go forward over the toe, keeping the chest up, the back as straight as possible, engaging the core and dropping down into a bit of a lunge. So we're stationary, we're stable, controlled, and really driving again through that front heel to activate the glute. And this is not for the faint-hearted. This will definitely get the heart rate up. Really push and drive through that front leg. Beginners, if you're not comfortable, or intermediate, you might not want to have that back leg up so high. You might just like to use a little step or the bottom of a staircase. Pause the video and continue as required. Popping on the band now, we're going to start working the adductors and the glutes just using the band. Starting off with kickbacks here, and I'm doing 20 kickbacks, popping that band on fairly low on the leg, tilted forward, stabilizing with my right side so that I can activate that left glute there, and really pulsing it and pushing it to keep that left glute activated. Same thing on the right hand side, balancing, keeping that band down low, keeping the chest up high and pressing into the glute to keep that activation through the glute and pump it. You can do this holding onto a tree or a bench. And now I'm spinning myself around to focus on the abductors here, and I'm just pressing out through the thighs, switching on the abductors. Another 20 there. Slight lean back, more so for balance because that's quite a high seat for me. So if you've got a lower bench, then you can probably sit up a little bit straighter. 20 of those abductions, and now I'm doing side thigh abductions. So again, 20 taps, and really keeping that focus on the press out. Keep the core engaged, and it should be burning by now. Pause the video if you need to, finish off the exercise, take a short break, and then let's move on. The last few exercises will be lying down. I'm popping that thera band back on and using the 9 kilo dumbbell for some glute bridges. Placing that dumbbell firmly on the hips, bringing the heels in close to the body. I'm pressing up as high as possible through my heels to activate my glutes. Taking some deep breaths, we're holding for 10 seconds. Keep that pressure through the glutes, pressing up to the sky or the ceiling as high as you can. And then we'll start the pulses down and up. It's really important not to rush this one. Dropping down and pressing up as high as you can. Get a rhythm with your breathing. Squeeze through the abdominals, squeeze through the glutes. And we've done 10 pulses. Before you know it, we're going to hold it for another 10 seconds. Keep pushing, don't give in, don't give up. Make it burn. And because I like torture and knowing that it's really working hard, I'm going to take off the band and go into some single glute bridges. So pressing the hips up toward the sky, just working one leg there, up as high as you can. So depending on your flexibility, you'll be able to get up possibly a little bit higher than me. I do have quite tight hip flexors, so I'm not quite able to get as high as I would like, which is a reminder that it's so important to stretch. I'll leave a link to my stretching video below, and you can join in some stretches as well. This is a great series and I would recommend doing it twice through. Makes for a great leg day workout.